will give you water of living waters. You see, the water you drink is dead. Come on. She didn't understand this was the Messiah in front of her face at first. Go ahead.
John 4 and verse 17. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said,
because he told her, I can't talk to you. Because really, this is another doctrine that the Messiah taught. Women not supposed to be teaching, right? Men are supposed to be teaching. A woman is supposed to learn from her man, because that's just disrespect. So that's what the Messiah was telling her. That's why he said, go get your husband. And we can show you that. Go ahead. Come on.
Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband.
Yep.
For thou hast 5 husbands.
See that? Because he knows everything. He's the Messiah. Come on. She was an adulterer, actually. Come on.
And he whom thou now hast is not thy husband.
See that? The first man you ever lay down with. Well, that's a whole nother thing. Go ahead. Come on.
And that sayest thou truly.
Come on.
The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet.
See that? She like, this guy knows what he's talking about. Right? Come on.
Our fathers worshipped.
Our what?
Our fathers.
Whose fathers?
Our fathers.
Come on.
Worshipped in this mountain.
You see that?
And ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
Why she said that? Because she's an Israelite.
Wait, but she said, it says here, and you Jews say that in Jerusalem is the place where one ought to worship.
What's the first thing you mentioned?
She said,
that,
so our fathers, if she was a Samaritan, right? So she was part of the scattered people.
That's right.
Right?
Now,
So
now that takes you back to what you already said. Remember how the northern kingdom left and it was a split.
They were not a people anymore.
Right.
So they're not Jewish.
Now, that's because they're not raised as such. You see what I'm saying? They're not.
It's the bloodline. That's what you're mostly emphasizing.
She's a bloodline Israelite. But as far as certain understandings, pretty much, why did the split happen? It was a family issue. So that's why she said the Samaritans have no dealings with the Jews, because it was a beef between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom.
She was considered a Gentile. Because anything
that's how the Jews looked at it.
Anything that is not his people is not his people. And anything that is not his people is a Gentile. That's what they call it. No matter where you're from, no matter what happened,
Matthew 18:11.
Those who are outside of Israel are Gentiles.
Right, even if you're an Israelite.
But they were cut off.
But hold on, she see the point. Even if you were an Israelite, right, bloodline, but you wasn't acting like one or living like one, did you not know that you could be considered a Gentile? And that's who the Gentiles is actually talking about. The whole Bible is to the Israelites. Get it? 18:11, not 18:11. Start at let me see. Yep. 15. Watch this. This is red letters. Come on.
This is Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Come on.
It says, moreover, if thy brother.
If thy who?
If thy brother.
Who is your brother? The Bible teaches you that. Come on. It's one of your neighbor and your brother is a person of your nationality. We wouldn't be neighbors if we're not the same bloodline. We wouldn't be brothers if we're not the same bloodline, right? In antiquity, we were. You come from Esau, you know, but that's what the Bible. That's how the Bible teaches it.
Where do you guys get that from?
Leviticus 19 and 16 tells you that. That's why he's saying this. Watch this. Come on.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
He said, think not I am come to destroy the law. I come not to destroy the law or the prophets, but to fulfill, meaning actually do. Right? You have a life to live, right?
He lived perfectly, and he did all of the commandments that God ever given perfectly, right?
Which is why people think that he came to do them away, but he said, don't even think that. I'm coming to actually do it. The law is just sitting dormant, and it's not being fulfilled. You see? It's supposed to be done. You don't have a life to just sit in the house every day and not do anything with it. You're supposed to fulfill your life. Live out the purpose of it, right?
So the purpose of Jesus, right?
But that's a whole nother thing.
To fulfill the law, right?
And all the prophets too.
So the whole point of how did the Jews or Israelites gain salvation?
Okay, before we get that,
can you just like answer that at the top of your head?
We're gonna stay here. You said off the top of my head. Say that again.
Just can you say like how do you guys have salvation? Just your blood? Is that what saves you?
I gotta tell you according to this. Come on, yeah, that's me turning it back to the Father according to because he said the time come. That's why we was getting that. Where the true worshipper is going to worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
Yeah.
You can't just say what you think and it not be according to this.
Yeah.
You see?
But
you would be a heretic. You know what a heretic is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's when you are saying against the law of God, right? Anything that's against what's of God,
written.
right?
Yep, that's a heresy.
So
you believe something else, simply. Let's finish that though.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Point.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault.
So if you transgress against me, I gotta go tell you, because you're an Israelite. I'm an Israelite. You see that? Come on.
Tell him his fault.
Come on.
Between thee and him alone.
Right.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
This is proper conduct, one-on-one. Come on.
But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses,
see that? Come on.
every word may be established.
So that's how you prove with something. If something is true, that's why we go here and we go here in the Bible. That's how it goes.
But
now you didn't hear me out, bro. You see? All right, I'll be back, bro. Bro, this will happen. I gotta bring you with me. We gotta go talk to him. Because if you don't believe me, if you're an Israelite, you know the law.
Right.
Something is valid. If I got 2 or 3 witnesses, go ahead. Come on. Because that's not the point. Come on.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
More Israelites. Come on.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican.
So an Israelite could be a heathen, could be a Gentile. See that? Read that. Leviticus 19 and 16. Come on.
Leviticus
chapter. Y'all actually gonna learn the Bible today. Churches don't do this, man. Come
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 16.
Come on.
Thou shalt not go up and down as the talebearer.
As a talebearer. Come on.
Among thy people.
Among thy who?
Among thy people.
Thy people. You see that? Come on.
Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor.
See? Interchangeable. Come on.
I am the Lord.
See? Come on.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Thy who?
Thy brother.
No, who? No, her brother.
Thy brother.
No, my brother.
Thy brother.
There you go. Come on.
In thine heart.
Come on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So your brother is interchangeable for your neighbor. Now watch this. How do we determine who our brother and who our neighbor is according to the Bible, according to God? Come on.
And not suffer sin upon him.
You see that? Come on.
Is he talking about a neighbor there or a brother there? He's talking about a brother, right? No,
right.
They're not interchangeable.
Read it again.
They're not interchangeable.
Read it again.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine...
Thou shalt not hate thy brother. Come on.
In thine heart.
In thine heart. Come on.
Thou
in your mind. Come on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
There you go. Because if you're not, what is love according to the Bible? It's keeping the commandments. If you don't,
that's not love.
That is love. John 15, 14 and 15 tell you this.
There's like 3 definitions of love depending on where you go. Because in the New Testament, it's originally in Greek, right? And there's many different translations of what love could be. Because there's only one word for love in English. But in Greek, there's 3 or 4 different types of love, the word love. Like there's relational, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But
it's a lot of points to learn.
Jesus came to reconcile the people to himself. So Adam and Eve, he created them, right? And they were perfect. They were sinless. And then they sinned.
At a point,
Yeah, they sinned, right? And so, but they weren't Israelites. They weren't called Israelites. They weren't called God's chosen people yet, right?
Are you sure? What makes them? What makes a person God's chosen people?
Well, depending on what you say, because it sounds like what you said is
show you in the scriptures
from Israel, right?
Everything I'm going to tell you today, you're going to see is going to be in the Bible. So let's finish this real quick, then we're going to go.
Well, I think we have to go pretty soon. So
we'll wrap it up after this. We'll show you who Jesus came for, and
He came for everyone who would come to him in repentance.
That's true.
He came for not necessarily in the blood.
Thou shalt not hate. Leviticus 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt not in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. And not suffer sin upon him.
See that? Come on.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Come on.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
See the children of who?
The children of thy people.
Finish that.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
See, so your neighbor will be someone of your nation. Children of your people, right? The children of my people will be any descendants of my nationality. Those will be my neighbors and my brothers. So if your brother has a fault with you, you take it to him alone. But if you don't hear, you take another brother. And if you don't hear him, you take it to the church, which is more of your people. And then if you don't hear them, let him be unto you as a heathen. So an Israelite can be a heathen. Now let's get to the whole point of the matter. Who did Jesus come from? Give me Amos 3:1. We're going to show you this really clear. We can show you love. We can show everything we say, we can show you in the Bible. We will not be out here running our mouths if we didn't know it. This is according to the Bible. Watch this.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you.
I will punish you.
I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right? Because where the law is, that's where sin can be imputed. Who was given the law? Give me Psalms 147 and 19.
So I know who's given the law.
But is the law done away with? Is the law done away with?
It's not.
That's the key piece to it.
Okay, wait, hang on. Can I just kind of speak a little bit into this?
Yeah, come on.
So we have the law, okay, which was given for man to complete and do through to please God, right? And there was, in somewhat a way, they had to gain their righteousness. They had to make sacrifices every day for their sins, for their wrongdoings, for coming short of the law. But this was a foreshadowing to Jesus coming and fulfilling the law, like you said earlier. And so Jesus fulfilled the law, and so we,
in what way?
Now, he was this ultimate sacrifice for our sins.
No, how did he fulfill the law?
Because he was perfect throughout his whole life, and
right,
he obeyed
but
God.
he did the law, right? And he was to be
fulfill the prophecies of what God had in store
all
from
of
the
them.
very beginning.
Did he do all of them?
All of the prophecies of the Messiah. Yeah.
He did them all?
Until he comes back to come and get his children.
Well, that's all he's gonna come back to do?
He's gonna come and restore us to our.
We're gonna show you, and that's it.
But
bring
I
out
just want to say
this is
that.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24.
Come on.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Got it.
So Jesus came for the Jews first and then the Gentiles because the Jews rejected him.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 34.
Come on.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Did he do that when he first came? No. So that's what he's getting ready to come back to do. It's not just gather people. It's balance with the Father. This is Matthew 25 and 32. This is the end all be all. It says, I'm going to start at 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations. So that's everybody. That's not just the Israelites. It says, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. Who's the sheep according to the Bible?
Those who have salvation in him. Those who are saved by his grace.
You just read it.
Jesus came as a way of salvation
right
for
up.
anyone.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24.
Come on. Come on. Yeah.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Now, Galatians 4:4. Who did he come back for? That's the end all be all. Go ahead, watch this.
Galatians chapter 4 verse 4.
Okay.
But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his son.
God said who?
God sent forth his son.
And did what?
Made of a woman, made under the law.
So his mom was a Jew because she had the law. Come on.
Guys, we gotta go.
To redeem them.
To do what? Listen.
To redeem them that were under the law.
No, everybody.
That were under the law.
Come on.
That we might receive.
That who?
That we
Come on.
might receive the adoption of sons.
Of who?
Of sons.
Revelation 13 and 10. What's going to happen to everybody else?
Who's under the law? Who's under the law?
Everyone on earth, every human being is under the law of sin and death.
Every single person.
Salvation.
You sure?
Every single person.
All right, here you go.
Psalm chapter 147, verse 19.
Come on.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
Unto who?
Unto Jacob.
No, everybody.
Unto Jacob.
Is Jacob a race? Come on.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Same people.
He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Revelation 13 and 10. So what happens to everybody else? Come on.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10.
End all be all. It's the end of the book. Come on.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So how can he be coming back to everybody?
I gotta interrupt because this is not fruitful. Okay,
It's definitely fruit.
This is not
You
fruitful
never knew
because-
the so-called white people get ready to go into slavery according to the Bible.
Let's
that.
take away race.
Revelation
let's
chapter 13 and verse 10.
Give me
Revelation
Sirach,
chapter 13 and verse 10.
You just hearing the Bible for truth. You want to hear something even deeper?
Man.
That's in the Bible.
let's just have a conversation.
We
and
are,
not
man.
be
We reading the
lectured.
Bible.
Let's have a
going on?
conversation. Let's talk.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
and
talking.
I
You
feel
guys
like-
are talking to us and not hearing us. It's
We're
not,
teaching you.
That's
This
not.
is
But
2nd
listen,
Ezra 6 and 54.
You're not
Look.
even.
And
listening to us.
listen, look. And after these, Adam.
That's an
I don't. That's not
apocrypha.
even.
What?
I don't even know what that is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She know what it is. The Apocrypha is it was in the authorized version, in which all the translations, ESV, NIV, ESV, they're all conformable off the King James 1611. Do you know what's in the King James 1611? The Apocrypha.
Bottom line,
So this is
you're not,
canon.
Okay, take away what you said here and just hear me out for a second, okay? You're not listening to what we're trying to say. You're not even trying to hear.
I'm here to teach you.
No.
Everything you ask me, we
okay.
answer. So how are we
If
not
you're
talking?
If you're here to teach us and not listen to us, it is not fruitful for you guys too. It's not fruitful for us at all. Like, how do you think we feel when you
It
are
ain't
trying
about
to teach
feelings.
us?
It's not about feelings.
Okay.
It's about the truth. That's what
That's
we're here to
not-
teach. And the truth hurts, man.
Hey,
What did
it's
this just say? He said, he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. What does that mean? I'll let you explain. What does it mean? What does it mean? He that leadeth to captivity.
No, but it was really good talking to you guys.
Revelation
I just wanna say
21
that I
and
think you
12.
guys are wrong.
And had a
I think
great
you're
wall.
in error.
Listen to
I think
this.
you are
And had 12
I think you're
gates.
misunderstanding the scriptures.
And
I think that you
at
don't
the
actually
12
understand
and at the
them.
12 angels. And listen, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And had a great wall high and had 12 gates. That's significant number 12.
I understand that.
And at the 12 gates, 12 angels. And the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So the kingdom of heaven is not for everybody. You're going into slavery. You're going into slavery too because y'all devils. And that's what you're going into slavery according to the Bible. I'm gonna have you as a slave in the kingdom, and you can mark the Bible on that. This is all in the Bible. I didn't know this either. I don't hate people because of color. I believe in God, so I teach what God says. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. This is what your people did. This is what you have coming to you. There's no such thing as a Mexican. There's no such thing as a Spanish person. There's no such thing as a white person. You guys are Edomites.
I understand what
You're
saying,
Edomites.
but
You are Edomites. Does God hate according to the Bible? Yes. He said he hates Esau. You're Esau. God hates you and you're going into slavery.
He saved us by his grace.
You're not an Israelite. And God is a racist
We're
according
not
to the
in
Bible.
part of this religion that you
God
guys
is a
have.
racist according to the
It's a
Bible.
false gospel, guys.
What is the gospel? The gospel is good news.
I do want to
The
say
gospel
that you
is
guys,
not for y'all.
You guys are made
Give me
in the
Isaiah
image of
14
God.
and
You're
21.
made in the image of God.
Isaiah 14 and
And
1.
we desire to
You guys
see
going
peace
into
with
slavery
all
according to the
men,
Bible.
just like what
That's the
God
end all
calls
be all.
us
You
to.
guys are devils.
And I
So-called
think that-
Hispanics are the real Israelites.
I think
So-called
that
blacks
you're
are the real
judged for your
Israelites.
words right now.
Bring out 14 and 1. You're
Isaiah
right.
chapter 14,
You're right. I'm
verse
gonna rule with a
1.
rod of iron. I'm gonna break you guys in pieces
I think
according to
For
the
the
Bible.
Lord
Watch this.
will have mercy
Only
on
God-
Jacob.
The Lord he will have mercy on who?
On Jacob.
No, everybody. Come on.
And will yet choose Israel.
He gonna choose Israel again. Come on. Come on.
And set them in their own land.
Come on. Come on.
And the strangers
And the strangers, come on.
shall be joined with
You
them,
coming into slavery. Come on. Come
and
on.
they shall cleave to the house
You
of
gonna
Jacob.
cleave. Your only way to get into the kingdom
Because
is
this
cleaving
is
unto the
not God's
Israelites.
love.
Come on.
This is not who God
And the
is.
people shall take them
And the people shall what? The Israelites shall take these people. Come on.
and bring them
This
to
is
their
this
place.
is prophecy, man. Come on, listen. And they
And
gonna
bring
what?
them to their place.
We're gonna bring you into
it's not
slavery.
love,
Did
it's
your
not
people bring
godly.
us into slavery across the ocean? Did that happen? Yes or no?
This is not of God.
Did that happen?
Why is it written?
The
Give
way
me
you guys are
21.
speaking
Give me
to us is
21.
not
They're
of
devils,
God.
man. They're
At
devils.
all.
You're devils. Come on.
Isaiah 14 and 21.
You're trying to
I'll be
deceive.
praying
Come
for
on.
you guys
Prepare
to know
slaughter.
the actual
Prepare
truth,
what?
because
Prepare
it's not
slaughter
For who?
for his
the truth.
children,
For whose children?
for his children,
Come on.
for the iniquity of their fathers.
You're gonna pay for the iniquity of your fathers. You're gonna be a slave in the kingdom. You're gonna be a concubine in the kingdom of heaven. And you're going into slavery, bro. You're gonna have a chain around your neck, man. And that's God is getting ready to come back through his son. Yes, so-called Jesus, Yahushua, black man getting ready to come out that sky, and you guys are going into slavery. A black man is getting ready to come out that sky. You're going into slavery. We got the truth, 100%. Give me Isaiah 8 and 20. Give me Isaiah 8 and 20. Give me Isaiah 8 and 20. Isaiah 8 and 20.
Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20.
What did it say?
To the law and to the testimony.
To the what?
To the law and to the testimony.
Come on.
If they speak not according to this word.
No, our own words.
To this word.
Come on.
It is because there is no light in them.
They're devils. They're going into slavery. They're going into slavery, man. Let's start this off by giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Wahakudash Wakah. You damn devils. You guys don't believe in the Bible, man. You're going into slavery. Goddamn devils. White, you can never give me some.